All right, how's everyone doing? So, I had somebody ask, actually it was Kingfisher, to do a video on the Shadow Dancer sword that Joe Steele sent me, what my final thoughts on it are. And I gotta say, this sword is like very nice. It handles well. The paint job and the lacquer on the side is really nice. It's nicely done. Love the fittings. These are different, way different. They call this green gold. I call it cherry blossom because that's what it is for the Suba, and on Fuji and Kashra is basically cherry blossom theme. So, because I really don't call this gold, it's brass basically. Yeah, it's about brass, copper. Anyways, that's here nor there. I mean, you call it whatever you want, but I like the way it handles. Okay, it's the T10 blade is done really well. I think the Hamon line is done really nicely, and the only thing I got a gripe about on this is basically the Edo wrap. Okay, that's my only, because I could really like move this thing around, so I can really, you can see that I could really push it around pretty good with my thumb. That is my only gripe on this. So the edge on it, the edge is nice. Nice and sharp. So that would be my only gripe, is the Edo wrap not being a little bit tighter than this. Is it horrible? No, it's not horrible. I think it could be a little bit tighter though. I have a few other swords that are $200, even under $200, and you can barely move it, and it doesn't have Hishigami papers. So yeah, that is definitely a ding I will give it, especially for the price point. I'm not expecting rock solid, but it could be a little bit tighter than that, considering the crane katana I got recently, I did a review on for like $60. I wasn't expecting much for that. It's loose, the Kasha is loose, but it's a $60 sword. Okay, and that thing actually impressed me. So for $200, it could be a little bit tighter than this. Okay, where you can just move it a little bit, not a whole heck of a lot. So, but yeah. But what I do like is how the saya tapers. That's actually really nice, because if you're going to put it in an obi belt, slip it in an obi belt, it's going to slip in a lot easier with that taper than just sort of the standard we get. And plus, you have an up and down rattle, but side to side you don't. So that's the benefit of like tapering the saya. You have less rattle because it fits a little bit better. So up and down, yeah, you can hear a little bit, but side to side, not really. So the fit, I mean, for the saya, I mean, it works good. I mean, just a push of a thumb and it unlocks and then locks back in. But yeah, I like it. Now, granted, I can't compare it to any other ones because it's the only one I have. So I will have to see about getting another Shadow Dancer, because I like getting two, so I can see how the quality is on manufacturers, because one just doesn't tell you. It really doesn't. Just like we have multiple Hanbon swords, the quality is always there. We've bought in 4 Sawadis, all with the Jabra Maki, wrapping on it, and they've all been nice. And those things, whew. Jabra Maki is another level of comfort for a katana, let me tell you. Ugh. If I could have all my swords with a Jabra Maki wrap, I would. And that is a difficult wrap to do. So to get it right is very, very hard. So I give a little bit more passes on when it comes to Jabra Maki wrap because it's so difficult. So would I recommend this sword? Absolutely. I would recommend this Shadow Dancer sword. Yes. Now, the wrap on this one can be a one-off. Like I said, I don't have another one to compare with. Okay. So it could be just this one. Now, it's not the most horrible wrap, like I said. I just wish it was a little bit tighter. That's all. But other than that, I like it. I mean, it handles nicely in the hands. The other thing I wish it was a little bit, and it would really bring it together, besides making the Ito wrap just a little bit tighter, is the handle. Okay. 11-inch handle on this. Now the point of balance isn't bad on this at all. Okay. Make that handle 11 and oh, this thing would be prime. Absolutely prime. Because I do believe this is a 10.5 handle. So on 11, be sweet. This thing would be like perfect almost for handling. But because even my index finger right here, I can kind of move the Ito up and down with just my index finger right here. Let me see if I can get that. It's kind of hard to see, but I can push it up and down. So yeah, it needs to be a little bit tighter. But yeah, 11-inch handle, wrap just a little bit tighter. This thing would be like smooth sailing, and it smoothly sails through targets. Let me tell you. So that was the only thing I would change out of this whole sword, is just the Ito wrap a little bit tighter and 11-inch handle, and it'd be perfect for anybody to practice with. But other than that, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's worth $200 for sure, especially with a saya, because when your saya is tapered like that, that's custom done. They're aiming to do that, and that takes a little bit more work to do than just the standard that you always get. So those are my final thoughts on the Shadow Dancer green gold. That's what they call it. Like I said, I call it the cherry blossom, but if you go on Amazon, it's called green gold. Yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's worth $200 with the way that the saya is made. It's a nice T10 blade, has a nice hamon, handles good in the hands. You know, like I said, just me, it's my preference. I like 11-inch handle, so if this was 11, it'd be perfect. But other than that, it does handle, and you can do quick recovery with it. So if it was, plus if the handle is out more, it's going to give that point of balance even much more closer in and more control. In fact, I'll be doing a video on why is it so important to have a point of balance on a katana, because yes, all katanas are front heavy, okay, to assist with the cut. But you also want a good POB. So I'm going to be doing a video on that, why it's so important. But yes, everything on it is super tight. Nothing's loose on it. I mean, the Suba wiggles just a tiny bit, but other than that, Everything's super tight on this thing, except for the Ito. But I like it. And again, I will say thank you, Joe, for sending this to me. That was a nice gesture. And the Koraguchi is cut out really, really nice. It's nice and clean. Not to mention you get a nice thick sagio for on your saya. It's not the Ito wrap. So yeah, I would recommend getting the green gold from Shadow Dancer. It's worth it. Hopefully I can pick up another one. I can compare the two and see if the quality is still there. But until then, that's the only one I've got. And stick around, we'll have some cutting at the end, and I'll see you all later.